And now Steve Young looks and he says, what the heck's this? And he comes out, and then Elvis Grbac takes a timeout. And just because it was third down coming up, they must have thought something was wrong with Steve Young.
And here's Grbac back to throw it. Gets it to Jerry Rice. Rice lunges for the first down. I think Steve Young was much upset about being brought out of the game.
You know, the doctor was back there talking to him. Someone must have thought there was something wrong with Steve Young. I mean, they had to think there was, because, I mean, to take him out on second down is a strange time to take a guy out if you don't think he's injured. I mean, to take Steve Young out is strange anyway. He has been, we're just making a point now, he's been getting beaten around. But if he's okay, you would leave him in there. And if you were going to make a change, it's usually a change of possessions.
4th and 2, and they're going for it. Here's Elvis Grbac. Just does get rid of it. They don't make it. Ricky Waters dropped it. And the Eagles will take over.
That was Bert Grossman and William Thomas back there just again as Grbac was going to throw the ball. Elvis Gerbac's having the same problem that Steve Young has had, and it's really not Steve Young's problem or Elvis Gerbac's. It's getting those guys blocked, and the 49ers just haven't done a job of blocking today.
Our information, John, from the sideline is that there is nothing physically wrong with Steve Young. The doctor, the medical staff apparently don't think that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, he's too mad. I mean, I believe that he really thinks there's nothing wrong with him because he's too mad. Remember, a year ago he had a history of concussion, and maybe they think that he's had a concussion, but he's arguing too vehemently.
Here's Randall Cunningham back to throw it. Fires incomplete. Intended for Mark Bavaro.
You know, now on the other side, you take Randall Cunningham. He has a clean uniform. I mean, he got knocked down right at the end of the half once or twice, but he's been pretty clean. And that's a big thing, that he's had good protection. And, of course, the other thing he had is a good running game. Now, the 49ers side, they haven't had good protection, and they haven't had a good running game.
Steve Young is angry.
That's right. I haven't heard Ricky Waters' name in about an hour and a half.
Nope. That's Vaughn Hebron weaving his way for about 5 yards. Dana Stubblefield tripped him up.
There's Otho Davis, who's taping up old Andy Harmon there. Andy Harmon had a big day, got a pressure. In fact, I think he was the last guy that hit Steve Young.
He also got an interception.
He had that interception. He's so proud of that jump. He waited and waited, and then he jumped about 2 inches to get that ball.
Got to jump up and meet it. Cunningham on 3rd down. 49ers were showing blitz. They might have shown it a little early. There's Dana Hall, the safety man who blitzed, but I think San Francisco is offside. Steve Young is still mad.
James Joseph was there to block Dana Hall. I don't know if the whistle blew or not. If the whistle did, then Dana Hall had to stop.
Number 94, defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Stubblefield jumped. So they'll rerun 3rd down.
Yeah, Stubblefield was the inside guy. He jumped. Dana Hall came up, and he came from the outside.
Elvis Grbac didn't really have time to loosen up much. 3rd and 1. Joseph and Walker behind Cunningham. James Joseph, the ball carrier. 1st down for the Eagles at the 49er 44.
Yeah, watch Steve Young here. He's saying to Brent Jones, he said, "Do you believe that?"
Steve Young now up again walking around, still upset.
I think someone's trying to tell him that there's something wrong with him. And he is arguing that there is nothing wrong with him. It's his game. He started the game, and he wants to finish it. I've never seen Steve Young this emotional.
I haven't either. Here's Herschel Walker. Walker taken down after a gain of about 6. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat. Well, the Saints have had the worst rushing attack in the NFL, but they look good on this one as Derek Brown takes it in for the score. Saints right now beating up on the Giants 27-13. That one in the 4th. Back to San Francisco, Pat and John.
Speaking of beating up on someone, the Eagles are beating up on the 49ers. And a very angry Steve Young on the sideline.
And it's an anger that's not going away.
No. 2nd down and 4. That's Joseph. Tripped up. No gain. Tripped up by Stubblefield.
Yeah, I've never seen him like this. I mean, and it's one of those things that's going to be interesting to hear about later. That, you know, everyone is trying to calm him down, and he's just not buying it. And coaches are talking to him. Doctors are talking to him. Other players, Deion Sanders came up and talked to him, and talking to Brent Jones, and he's just not having any of it.
Gary Kubiak. 3rd down, Cunningham back to throw again. Pass is caught by Herschel Walker. That'll be a 1st down. And that's also the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Philadelphia Eagles 33, San Francisco 8. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Ready to begin the 4th quarter at Candlestick Park with the Eagles leading the 49ers 33-8. 25 points is the largest deficit under George Seifert that the 49ers have had to make up. And if the Eagles continue to move, it'll be larger. That's Vaughn Hebron. Hebron gets to about the 25 before he is herded backwards by Charles Mann and a few more of the 49er defenders, and Steve Young is still mad.
You know, usually you get mad and it goes away, but this is one of those things with Steve Young that isn't going away, and I'll bet you it doesn't go away after the game, and I'll bet you it doesn't go away tonight, and I'll bet you it's not gone away tomorrow.
The anger. Steve Young doesn't get angry that often.
Yeah, this is an anger that's driven by a lot of pride.
2nd down. Here's Cunningham giving to Hebron. And Hebron gets down to about the 15. That should be enough for an Eagle 1st down, stopped by Ken Norton.
Yeah, and they've really done a job on Ken Norton and Plummer and those ends. I mean, they've done a job on pass protection and on running and everything. Now it's Hebron, a little delay. You see him cut back, look for the hole. And I'll tell you, they're just running through and just getting big holes in there. But that's happened, you know, for 3 quarters they developed that.
Well, the Eagles wanted to run. They got 161 yards today. Their average has been about 90. So they've gotten that. That's just Vaughn Hebron again, cutting back inside the 15 to about the 14 maybe.
And the good news for Rich Kotite and his team was Charlie Garner, and I think that may also be the bad news because I think he injured that same area that he had injured before. They said it's in the same area. He's not going to play anymore.
In the upper back.
Yeah, and it's his 1st rib. He had a broken 1st rib. And this was the 1st game that he played. They knew that he was going to be an exciting runner.
They were right.
And now we all know it.
2nd down, about 9. Cunningham shovel pass to Hebron. He's down at about the 8-yard line. Almost broke it for a touchdown.
Greg Jackson has cramps here. We saw earlier Mark McMillan. They were working on his cramps. Hey, the Eagles are pulling out all the plays. I mean, they have option plays. Randall Cunningham ran an option. Bobby Brister ran an option. That time they had the old shuffle pass there. I mean, they had 2 weeks to get ready for this game, and I'll say they used those 2 weeks well.
They got a lot of stuff ready, didn't they? 3rd and 3.
They pulled a lot of stuff out of that old hopper.
This is Vaughn Hebron. Walker. I beg your pardon. Walker. Touchdown, but there's a flag on the play in front of him.
This is a result of really beating down a defense. I mean, that touchdown isn't going to count, but now, after you beat them down for 3 quarters, then it gets to a point that it's easier and easier.
Holding, number 31, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Holding called against Brian O'Neill.
And then it gets to a point where it's really too easy. I mean, that last play, in all due respect to Herschel Walker, was too easy.
Just sort of strolled in.
Yeah, this is a beaten down 49er defense.
Lead blocker was O'Neill, and it was number 31 who was called for the holding.
He brought a hunk of the field off with him, didn't he? What the heck is that right in there?
A hunk of the field.
I think so. But if he's going to be the lead blocker there, he gets a heck of a block. That was James Joseph, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was O'Neill. Well, whoever. Cunningham back to throw it. Fires down the middle. Bavaro touchdown. The Eagles add to the total.
I think that's the way all the 49ers feel, like Steve Wallace. They're just shaking their head. They can't believe this. Everything the Eagles have tried has worked. I mean, they've passed, they've thrown to Calvin Williams, they've done options. They've beat him to the punch.
Just the touchdown there. They've done everything, as you say.
Everything. This is a very well coached, very well prepared Eagle team.
Hey.
Eddie Murray's extra point adds to the total. 40-8. Philadelphia over San Francisco. 12:04 left to play. The MetLife blimp Snoopy 2 is piloted by Captains Lee Bradbury and Matt Elkins. The blimp and its crew will travel to more than 35 sporting events and television specials this year. Perfect day in San Francisco.
Yeah, but they never get
for the
to
49ers.
But they never get to sit in the 50, those guys. I mean, they go to all those events and never get courtside seats, sit in the 50. They never get to eat the hot dogs, any of that good stuff.
Here's Elvis Gerback. Pass is caught by Nate Singleton. 49ers playing hurry up, but they can't hurry enough. 40-8, the Eagles lead.
They'll have to regroup. You know, it's going to hurt tonight. It'll hurt tomorrow. And about Wednesday or Thursday, they'll get it back going again.
Go back behind the intended receiver, Nate Singleton. I think you get in a situation like this as a player. Not bad. I was going to say it's how soon you forget, but I can't say that now.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, that's the thing. By Wednesday or Thursday, they forget that, and they're all ready to go again. But, you know, one guy, we're showing a lot of sad guys there, those 49ers, but one guy in the Eagle had to be happy as heck, and that's Bill Romanowski. Who, you know, the 49ers kind of let him go, and he felt that maybe they blamed the linebackers and the defense too much for what happened in the championship game.
Back's pass is caught by Ted Thompson.
And then to come back, you know, have someone who lets you go and then come back and beat them like this, 40-8. I don't care. I mean, you try and, you know, play it down. Oh, it's no big thing. But like Greg Townsend said, he's never seen a player so wired up as Romanowski was this week. And if you get that wired up to play, I'll guarantee you, when you win like this, you have to be one happy guy.
Here's Gerback back to throw it again. It's knocked out of his hands. Greg Townsend, just as he went by, knocked it out of his hand. And it's going to be ruled fumble. And the Eagles are going to take over.
That was one of the ugliest run backs
Yeah.
I've ever seen by a lineman. Greg Townsend didn't want to be tackled.